Alright guys, this is FX Smashing It. What is going on guys? Um, it's a weekly review for Forex analysis and today we're looking at some pairs which I actually identified and the reasons why I took them was because of the volumes I was expecting. There was some significant volume this week, especially in the USD pairs, and I'll be taking you to some indices where I actually identified some movements using analysis to explain what actually transpired in the forex. So let us go back to the chart and see how things went this week.
Alright guys, this is FX Mesh welcoming you back to my channel. Forex indices price action analysis, where we look at how the market behaves and as a result of different economic conditions and impact on the market, and we try to identify patterns and the behavior of the currency pairs and indices as well, and maybe probably sometimes cryptos, just to be able to take advantage of the market, because the overall essence of our trading is to make profits. But one thing we need to understand is that there are always losses along the line, but the ability to cut our losses, the ability to learn from losses as well, because losing is part of the game. It all matters. So this week has been a week where they've been volumes, they've been movements, they've been different attitudes, they've been surprises, because we had the US interest rate, that's from the Feds, and they released their information for the interest rate, and it really it surprised a lot of people because of the performance of the US dollars, and we could see some very weird movements in the market. And I looked at, in this video, looked at GBP USD. I also looked at GBP AUD. I looked at NAS 100, which is one of the indices, and also DXY, using DXY to understand the overall strength of the US dollars. I always use DXY, which is an indices, because the DXY is the indices that shows us clearly the strength of the US dollar, and we want to trade on pairs that moves faster or moves or cover more pips. So that's why it's good to trade the US dollars pairs, and also particularly pay attention to the US dollar itself to see how it has performed overall. So that's why I use the DXY. So we'll be going back to the chart to actually see all what I'm trying to explain here. So I'll catch you in the chat. See you in the chat. This is FX Mesh Smashing It. What is going on, guys? This is GBP USD, and I started GBP USD as my first trade taking this week, 25th of July to 27th of July. Today is the second day of the week, which is 26th, as you can see on my screen here. And I took this trade, this beautiful trade here, and I did that on a multi-time frame analysis, where I had to basically identify that the market was able to react each time it touches this trend line here. And look at it, it broke it, retest it, broke it again, retest it again, came down, retest it second time, first, second, third time I had to take a sell, because we had weak rejections there, and I could see a form of a consolidation, and as well a psychological level there as well. So they all met in the same area, so I took a sell, and it was wonderful. And I waited for the market to play out again. It touched here again later, Tuesday, Just use it now. Just push to the downside. Now I took a trade around here. I'm expecting the market to pull back. I'm trading the pullback of this, so you can see what we have here. You can see that each time the market gets to this level, there's always a reaction. See, you can see a lot of multiple weak rejections there. Let me remove all these ones because you can see clearly. You can see weak rejections. See it? You see it? Weak rejections here. A lot of consolidation here. Weak rejection, came down again. Weak went up, came down again. Weak rejection here. So I entered around here, although I'm experiencing a pullback, a drawback for now, but I expect the market to push to the upside, which it will have to signify that it's a temporary weakness in the US dollars somehow, but it's going to take me some time, and I'll see how that went. But so far, one trade taken, I won that trade in profit. I'm looking forward to other trades. I'm still holding my GBP AUD. GBP AUD I've been holding that for quite a while, almost more than 4 or 5 days now. Look at what's happening inside the entry. Now let's go to the 4 hours time frame and you see what I mean. Now the reason, 1 week time frame. Now if you look at it, the reason why I took this trade is going to be a long trade, but it's going to give me, it's expected to give me good profit. Each time the market gets to this level, there's always a reaction. You can see from the graph here that this market broke through this level, which tested here. I made consolidation here, went to the upside. You see it's always reacting around this region. This point is a very strong point. It reacts, goes up, react again, goes up. This region, all of this region here is a very strong one, so it goes up and pushed to the upside, came down again. You can see this weak rejection, this week here, went up again, came down again. It's coming down. Once it comes down, it's going to it's expected that's going to push to the upside. It's going to take some days or maybe probably a week to push into profit, and the distance between here is a significant number of profits. So GBP AUD still holding, and I'm looking out for other ones like NAS 100. I think there's some potentials there. I identified something very important in NAS 100. NAS 100 is an indices, and what I've observed is that I marked something very important. I've just observed. Basically, sometimes I don't really use strategies as such. I just use some kind of patterns based on the prevailing attitude of the market. Like for example, now look at this one. I want to use a line to identify the pattern of the market. The market came up here, reacted here, came down, touched here the second time, as I put 2 there, came down, went here, broke through this strong level. This is a strong level because it tried the first time, tried the second time, it could not. Third time, it tried. The fourth time, it broke to the upside, it retested it. Now, I'm expecting to push to the upside. Once I see clear candlesticks pushing to the upside, I'll take a buy in this direction. This is a strong level. Using the strong level, I'm using a break and retest strategy to observe this particular trade, NAS 100. I'll be back to it again and I'll see how it goes. Now let's see the overall strength of the US dollars on a 15 minutes time frame. Let's just see what has happened so far. And the strength of the US dollars has been basically it's been just up and down. You can see the haphazard attitude. See, up and down. So nothing much is really happening. Nothing much is happening. Yeah, nothing much is happening. See, nothing much. It has been pushing to the upside. This is a 1 day time frame. Let's put it for time frame. You can see, you see it come down here, break through here. You see it went up, retest again. You know, it's retesting this point, and I expect to push to the upside. So the US dollar is just beginning. The US dollar is beginning to gain strength gradually, but it's going to consolidate around here a little bit. It won't just go up straight like that. It's going to play around here a little bit, then push to the upside. It's already doing that in that regard. So I expect more consolidation a little bit, then before it begins to break this channel here, and then probably push to the upside. That's what I expect. So if the US dollar push to the upside, there's going to be corresponding impact on other US pairs like US JPY, US JF, GBP USD, USD CAD, and all of that. So we'll be back to more opportunities, and I'll be explaining how I took trades, how I won and how I lost, and overall lessons learned and all that. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Alright guys, back to the charts. GBP USD. I lost a trade here. I want to take a short bar here. I thought the market is going to pull back around this area while the market was here, but I lost it, and that is fine. So the market started pulling back down. I just closed my trade. I didn't want to trade again because I didn't want to lose more money. And what I've observed is that at about 12 o'clock in midnight, 12 a.m. is it 12? Yeah, I think 12, 11:59 to 12 to switch to another day. That is when the US session is open, starts. So I didn't take any trade again. I just had to leave the trade. If I had taken a trade, I would have taken a buy here. But what I did was I just closed my trade and I closed the losses and I just went to sleep. While I closed it, now you see the market pushed back and started pulling to the back. About 80 something pips. About 80 something pips, 88 pips. Then pull back a little bit, 80 something pips. Now, if you look at it in this multi-time frame analysis that consists of different psychological levels, lines, this is a psychological level, then two lines indicating the high of the week and the low of the week as a result of the first two candlesticks being created that creates these two lines, another psychological levels and trend lines meeting together, where the market has to form a W or an M, and where we take trades around areas where trend lines, psychological level meet together. You can see that for this week, let us put our sectional break. Let's see how far we've done. Now today is 27th. 25th is the day that this week starts, this trading week starts. 25th of 25th Monday. Now 25th, got 25th here. The whole of this is Monday. This is Monday around the Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, 27th. Now, if you look at the best way to identify, the fastest and the best way to identify a trading opportunity is by looking for W's. It's very easy. Very, very, very easy. Look at it. Now, the market came up here. Right? Just look for a W. That's all. Or M. When the market is here, take a buy. When it's here, take a sell. When it's here, take a buy. When it's here, take a sell. When it's here, take a buy. If you want to even take a very good opportunity, you can wait for an impulse, and when the impulse has calmed down, you cannot take a trade. What I mean is, I waited for this impulse. Look at it. There was a sharp impulse to the upside, then a push to the upside like that. The reason why I won this trade was very good, was because you can see trend line here. See this trend line here? You see this psychological? You see this trend line here? Look at this line here. You see weak rejection here after this market has pushed to the upside. And I just took a sell because I identified that this is one leg of an M, and it came down here. But from here, after this trade, I didn't know exactly where. I had to wait. I was not patient enough to wait. I should have waited to allow it form another part of the double top. From here, I would have entered here, but I think I was busy here, and it was when it was here that I wanted to take a short buy here, but I lost the trade here. This was indiscipline for me. It's serious indiscipline. I was not disciplined here, that's why I lost this trade here. I would have taken a buy, a sell here, because I would have formed a W and just rolled it down here. You understand? So each time there's a pull to the upside, know that looking out for what is sell. So always look out for W patterns. You can see it here. You can see it. Now it has put to the downside and it's going up again. You can see another M again. We don't know whether it's down or up it's going to go, but we know that it's here for now. And during London session, then we will be up. We'll be here again and looking for more opportunities here. So that's how we trade the multi-time frame. The multi-time frame is set up in such a way that we started designing it from 4 hours time frame and we switched to 15 minutes time frame for entries. This is a 15 minutes time frame. 4 hours is just to create this setup, and that's how it is. Then now for NAS 100, I mentioned before that there are 3 levels that I identified. Market came up here, it bounced, came up again, respected this level, didn't violate it, came up again, it bounced, then it finally broke it, retested it and pushed to the upside, and that's how we have this. And it came down now and broke this level. Now the breaking of this level after so many attempts, and each time the market breaks through this level, it means this market is it has shown the strength of the US dollars. What do I mean? NAS 100 is an index, and indices works inversely proportional to the strength of the US dollars. Okay, if the US dollar gain more strength, there is always a corresponding weakness in indices, and that's what we can see here. The indices gained less strength because there was strength in the US dollars. You can see from this area that there was a weakness in the indices and a corresponding strength in the US dollars. Now let's look at the DXY. DXY is the index for the US dollars, and you can see that there was a push to the upside, and that's what we get, push to the upside, and you can see that the US dollars is picked up some strength. Let's go to the 4 hours time frame. See what I mean? This candlestick alone, you can see that there's more push to the upside. So if you check other US pairs, USD, you can see that let's see on 15 minutes time frame, there was no movement in this one as such. US card, okay, a little bit up and down, not much. NAS USD, NZD USD, well, not much. But the GBP USD, there was a push to the downside, then push to the upside. Push to the upside means weakness in the US dollars, then push to the downside means strength in the US dollars. So there's been some consolidation anyway overall on the 15 minutes time frame. So no much movement here. I can't take a trade here. So I'm looking for M patterns, like I said. So now let's look at the GBP AUD. I entered now on the 15 minutes time frame. You can see what's happening. This pattern has been broken, and I'm waiting for the market to retest this level and push to the upside. I want this to come up here so I can be in profit. I've been holding this thing for over 4 days now, and I think I'm going to be in profit, because if you zoom to a weekly time frame, you see the reason why I entered this particular trade. And I mentioned before that each time the market is around this area, there is always a rejection. There's always a weak rejection. In fact, if I put it on the white and black this thing, you can see it's about to push to the upside. Now there was an impulse downwards, and once there's an impulse like that downwards, it means that it is reacting to the price level around this area. They started consolidating, started coming down, trying to push downward, but it started rebouncing. So I want to rebounce and push to the upside. This is what I want. So there's something around the price action around this area. It's such that it's always rejecting the market. So here is a very strong area. There's this rejection here, so it's a strong area. That's why I took a buy here, and I'm going to be in profit. Definitely going to be in profit. The way I've seen it, I believe it is going to be a push later upwards. It's because AUD has been strong against GBP. GBP has not really gained enough strength. I'm expecting GBP to get strength in the coming week, or AUD gets weaker for them to be pushed to the upside. So that's how I've looked at so far. I didn't take any other trades. I've been looking for opportunities all across the market, and I will post it here when I see anyone. Catch you in the next one. Peace out. Alright guys, this is the reality of trading. On my screen you can see this particular trade I took, and I used the fundamental trading strategy where I had to get the news for the US interest rate, and it came out positive for the US dollars. Normally the market is this thing is supposed to at least go up, then come down, reverse shoot downwards after it has gone up. So I waited for it to come down a little bit and I entered here, but you know what happened? The market shot so high and I lost the trade, and it's still hanging there right now, still in that area. So GBP gains more strength against the USD. That's very weird. This is just the handiwork of the banks and market makers. So they've kept the price so high, and it has stayed there for quite a while. So we are in another session now. So looking forward, I'll be expecting to see GBP USD fall a little bit to around this area. So we're going to check it out and see how it is. Then for gold did the same thing. I lost the few trades I entered as well. So it's been a bad week for me, but I picked up myself and I'm still going to trade, but I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to try to maintain discipline, and I will be up again. So looking for more opportunities. Catch you in the next one. Guys, back to one of the pairs I was looking out for yesterday. I also lost it. I lost the trade. What happened was that I identified the market building up in this way, building to the downside. Okay, came up here, pushed downwards, and came to this point. When it came to this point, let me use the replay to explain what I mean. I'll use the replay, I'll change it to black and white, and I'll come back here, then I'll use the replay button. Okay, I'll cut it, I'll remove it from here. So sorry, let me okay, now yeah, so the market came up here to this point. Okay, now at this point I was expecting the market to reverse backwards, because I could identify a trend, a channel being built based on this pattern. So, and also I also identified at this point this region and this faint blue color is a very strong level, because the market, each time the market gets to this point, is always reacting. Market came here, it reacted, broke past it, came down, reacted where it is, broke past it again, reacted here, it pulled back, reacted here, it pulled back, it broke past it, it reacted, came down, came up again, reacted, came down a little bit, came up again, reacted, came down, came up again, it reacted there. So the plan was that it's going to pull back at least to some extent to this point. That's what I was thinking. But you know what happened? Let's see what happened. Instead of it to, I was expecting to push into this green place. Look at what happened. It went against me. See, I was already in profit, and motivated and happy. All of a sudden, this is what you get sometimes in trading, and that's how I lost the trade. You see, that's how I lost the trade. So that's part of my learning. So next time, see, then before it now start coming back again. Now what I would have done is that I would have waited for the market to actually show me enough confirmation to know whether I'm going to sell or buy. Because if I look at this channel and say, oh, this market must obey this pattern where it goes down, up, down, up, you know, it might not necessarily follow that pattern. It could do something differently. So what I've learned is that I should always try as much as possible to open my mind up and don't be limited by patterns only. Patterns are very important and very good, but the patterns alone would not help. I used pattern, and also I used the fact that this region was, I trusted this structure to be very strong enough, but it wouldn't be that way. So it went up and came down, then then it eventually started and went back again. So what I would have done differently is just, you know, wait a little bit and allow the market to play out here. Yeah, there was an impulse here because there was a news that happened. I think it was during the although this has nothing to do with the USD, but somehow I believe there was an impact in corresponding impacts in the GBP GPY pair, which allowed the market to tank down like this, and now it's back to the channel. So it's around here, reacting here. Then you can see this area, it's a strong area too. So what I want to do is that I'll just leave this, allow it play out, then I'll try and find good position. I always learn when I'm in losses. When I lose, I learn a lot because I'm able to see what I didn't do properly and what I did. One other thing again I've also learned is that I always look out for W patterns. See, let me show you some what I mean. I want to make it tick a little bit tick. Now W patterns. Now see, it goes down here. Oh, sorry. See, look at this W pattern. Sorry, I'll go again. W pattern. That's a W pattern. See it? See the pattern here? That's a 1 W here. 1. Okay. W patterns. Let me put it here. I'll find another one again. Now this one ended here. Look at another one again. That's another one again. Remember, I stopped here. I'll take it out. I stopped here. I'll continue from there again. You see, this W pattern helps you a lot. You can see different variants of W patterns that can help to find good opportunities. Even if you win from, you even enter from here to here. Only one leg alone is enough to give you good profits. So it's all about patience. I think patience is very important in this game. So this is what we get from trading. Always looking for W patterns, V patterns, M patterns, straight lines, you know. So right now I can find the W from here. Right? I like this go like this. I don't know what it wants to do, but maybe during the American session it might tank down, and who knows, might hit here and come down here or go up. Yeah. So I'll catch you in the next one. Guys, back to the chart. This is the DXY I mentioned earlier. I just want to round up all the previous information already given. Just gonna give you kind of a rundown for GBP USD, GBP AUD, NAS 100, DXY and maybe USD CHF to look forward to what to expect in the market in the coming week, in the next week. I mean 1st of August, Monday to Friday 5th. This week is the week I'm referring to. Now, first of all, let us go to let's see the overall strength of the US dollar in this week, 25th to 29th. Now we go to the chart first of all. Okay, any time frame, it doesn't matter. Just right click on the screen, you click appearance, click section break, and just say okay. So on the 4 hours time frame, excuse me, on the 4 hours time frame, you see section breaks which identify different kind of days. This is a day, this is on Friday, this is Friday, this is Thursday, this is Wednesday, this is Tuesday, this is Monday. So 25th Monday, so this Monday. So you can see that the strength of the US dollar has not really been on a high. It didn't shoot up. You see that it moved sideways. So what does it mean? It means that the US dollar did not really gain strength from this time to this time. This Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which we Saturday now here, New Zealand time. Now there was no really significant strength in the US dollar, so that will have a corresponding impact in other US pairs. Okay, now we won't go through those US pairs. I just want to first of all identify the strength of the US dollars. Okay, now let's take GBP USD. GBP USD. Now GBP USD, look at what happened. Just by observation, you can see that this thing pushed to the upside. Now 25th was the start of the week, and you can see how the market performed. It shows that from 25th here, you see how the thing pushed up. You see it pushed up to the upside. So what it means is that this overall push up to the upside means that there was a weakness in the US dollars overall. Even if there were strengths along the line, and all this red part you are seeing is when there was pullback. Okay, so it shows that at those point in time, US dollar was strong, US dollar was strong, US dollar was strong, US dollar was strong. How do I mean? If you look at this pair, GBP USD is the suffix. So if USD dollar gain strength, this thing will push to the downside. This strength will push to the downside. This thing will be going downwards. If US dollar is getting weak, it will push to the upside. And you can see that from the DXY was relatively consolidating. It consolidated. It moved sideways. So that means that the US dollar didn't really gain strength. So let's go back to the GBP USD. And GBP USD, so it means that GBP USD will relatively go up, at least gradually went up, and that's what shows from the strength of the US dollars. So US dollar was not strong, so it was just like, okay, let's go up. GBP gained strength in comparison, so it gained strength. That's why you can see it pushed to the upside all through the week. Now I usually enter GBP on a 15 minutes time frame on a multi-time frame analysis, and I will not be explaining it here, but I'll just say it in bullet points. Now, multi-time frame analysis is when I set is a strategy I use to enter GBP. GBP USD is my main pair, so I use multi-time frame analysis sometimes to enter GBP USD on a 15 minutes time frame. So first of all, multi-time frame analysis means two time frame, more than one time frame was involved in setting up this strategy. First of all, I draw two lines from based on the two candlesticks that form in the first week. Like what I mean is on Monday, the first two candlesticks on a 4 hours time frame that came up was, let's go to let me just explain what I mean as I'm talking. Now on the 25th, you can see that, on the 25th, look at 25th here, the first two time frames, the first two candlesticks that form are the two candlesticks I use. Look at this candlestick here, this 25th here, right? The first candlestick that formed was let's see, I want to okay, I think this is the okay, anyway, I use these two candlesticks. This one looks a little bit sounds like a kind of an indecision candle, so I use this and this are the first two candles that form. So this one, okay, where it stopped here, this one, okay, where it stopped here, so I drew this line on top here. The two candlesticks must be such that they must be in between the two lines. Okay, so this is the low of the week, high of the week. That's how I identify the high and the low of the week. Okay, the first two candlesticks on Monday we determine these two lines. Okay, then secondly, what I did was to identify the directional bias. Means what direction are we expecting the market to go in the week. Now any candlestick that break through those two lines will be most likely giving us the direction of the week. This candlestick was the directional candlestick, and you can see that it pushed to the upside. What does it mean? Buy. So directional bias is what? Buy. And if you look at the market all through the week, it was what? Pushing to the upside. So it was more of buy. That is why we need the directional bias. So then what we do next is to draw trend lines. On still 4 hours time frame, we'll draw trend lines. What are the trend lines? Trend lines are just lines that has at least a meet of 2 points. And I drew this line up, and I think I drew this line down. Then I now step down to a 15 minutes time. Then I drew Then I drew psychological levels. Psychological levels are random numbers, random numbers which I plotted on this chart. So I found the psychological level here. I found one here. I found one here. So the ones that are rounded off up. You can see this one, 1.20850, 50. The one that ends at zeros and zeros basically. Look at this one, 2600, 2700. Look at this line was drawn. 2850, this line was drawn. 2500, this one was drawn. Look at this one, 2400, this one was drawn. So I drew psychological levels. When you draw psychological levels, just draw it around the area where the market is at that point in time. Then begin to draw more as it goes. So and I step down to a 15 minutes time frame for entry. And what happened? I explained that I got this trade. How do I enter? How do I get trades taken? What do I do is I make sure that trend lines and psychological level meets, and when I can see weak rejections on that area where they meet. Look at this line, trend line. Look at this line, trend line. Look at this line, psychological level. Look at the market came up here. You can see this weak rejection here. This weak made me to take this trade, although I would have taken it here, but I think I took it here anyway, and it's rolled down. What I look out for is W patterns. W patterns. You can see that GBP USD has a way of giving me a W pattern, and that is very good for me to add as my confluence in entering the trade. Look at it. It goes up, it comes down, it go up, it come down. It's always doing W, M, W, M, W, M, W, M, all through like that. All through like that. And again, bear in mind that we have B bias as directional thing. So we have in mind that the market is going to be pushing to the upside, and we can identify from the directional bias that the market is going to go to the upside, and you can see that it went to the upside. You see it pushing to the upside. So that is how it goes. So and then along the line, I think on 27th, I think I missed this trade. I was very indisciplined. I actually saw some weak rejection here. I thought the market is going to push to the upside, and I'll just take a short, long, a bullish trade here. But the market kept tanking down, and then I closed the trade, like I explained before. And it came down here. I didn't take this one, but identify this place as a good point to enter. Remember, when you are entering a trade, you must identify W's. Having W in mind. You see W. There's always this W thing all the time. Have that W shape in mind. W shape, you know, there's always this W shape. And psychological level, where psychological level and trend line meets and weak rejection, that's where you enter, you possibly enter a trade. Now look at this one. This is a very good point to enter on a sell, but it will be a short sell. Sometimes there might not be psychological, there might not be one complete. What I mean is, here is a good point to enter, but for example, here's a good point to enter a sell. What do I mean? If you take a sell from here, look at this weak rejection. touching the psychological level, but there's no trend line. But you know what? There is a trend line. I will explain. If you draw a trend line from this point, join this point to this point. You can join this point to this point. See? So how do you enter? You enter when psychological levels, look at psychological level, this one is psychological level, this is another psychological level here again, another one again here, this one is a trend line. When psychological level, when trend line, when weak rejection meet together, is a good point to enter. That is a good point to enter. Enter what? It pushes to the upside, you enter a sell. So if you enter a sell here, let's assume we enter the sell here. Enter the sell here. We would have been in profit, but it would have taken us a long time for us to be in profit. Let's say a ratio 1 to 5. See, it will be consolidating, kept consolidating, and finally entered profit. You can enter profit here from here. You see, that's a very good entry, but I didn't enter that one, so let's forget about that one. I'm just trying to explain how we enter on a multi-time frame. That is how I trade GBP USD. Now, something happened during the week. On the 28th New Zealand time, there was the US Fed, that there was the interest rate that came out for the US dollars, and you know what? Let's look at it. Interest rate came out, and sometimes I trade the news sometimes. So let's see what happens. I refresh the page, and we're going to go to on the 28th to see exactly what I'm explaining. So you go to investing.com, you click economic indicators. Let me just show you briefly. So you Google investing.com, you enter, you see this page, you click here, economic calendar. So the economic calendar gives you different pairs, different currencies and the information. And then what you do now is to filter. You click filter, you identify the pairs, the currencies you want. Then you go down and you click 2 stars and 3 stars or level of importance. But most of the time you can click only 3 stars if you like, but I usually click 2 stars to 3 stars because 2-star events usually impact the market. So I click this 2, I click apply. Okay, you now filter the currency, so you can know the information that's coming. And now I'll go to yesterday, and I'll go to, let me go to 28. Got it, 28. Okay, and I'll apply. Look at it, on the 28th, something, this was an information that was about to be released. Before then, I was looking out for this particular trading federal interest rate decision. You can see it was 1.75, and you know what, it increased to 2.50. What does it mean? It was a significant, there's going to be a significant push in the US dollars. Immediately this news came out. What this means to this particular trade here is that the market will push to the upside to some extent and tank down significantly. I was expecting a significant spike, a push, a kind of high push here, then it will come down. Because why? US dollar would gain strength. When the US dollar gains strength, this thing should come down. But you know what happened? It shot up. I entered this trade. I was in profit. All of a sudden, it shot to the upside, and it stood there and never came down till now. This thing is very weird. It's very, very weird. These interest rates are always such that once you have this kind of news, later this kind of news here at 28, when you have this kind of interest rate news, because of the gain in US dollars from 1.75 to 2.50, there will be a corresponding push to the downside because of the USDs, or what is the suffix that. But this was the reversal, so that's why I lost this trade. So it went up. I didn't trade it again. I just chilled, started going up. When it came here, I just marked this one and I stopped. I put my take profit here, I put my stop loss here. You know what? It exploded to the upside and I won this trade. Okay, that is for GBP USD. Now for GBP AUD, as I mentioned, I've been tracking this thing for quite a while. GBP AUD, GBP AUD, GBP AUD. Where are you? Okay, GBP AUD. Now the GBP AUD on a 4 hours time frame. Now the GBP AUD I was tracking here, I removed it and I marked this thing here. I put it here because I'm expecting this thing market to tank down and touch here or touch here and pick up, because the overall strength of this pair is not going up yet, it's still going downwards. So what I'm intending is, this is a consolidation. This is a consolidation. Okay, this is consolidation. Now I'm expecting this thing to push to the upside. This thing might come down, trigger this and push to the upside later, but I'm still watching this, and I know it's going to go up. It's going to go up there eventually. It's going to push to the upside. So this strategy is just reversal. It comes down, it consolidates here, reverses here and pushes to the upside. Now for NAS 100, let's go to NAS 100 quickly, which is an indices. NAS 100, which I also tracked. Let me remove the sectional break, it's confusing. Alright, now NAS 100, I want to trade there as well. Okay, came down here. All these ones have already been explained before. This one was already in previous video, like I showed earlier. Now, but this is what is very important to me. Now, you see the market came up here, it pulled back, came up here, it pulled back, came here, pushed back, then broke through here, retested here. You can see the clear retest. After now this particular trade here was taken based on simple break and retest. Okay, simple break and retest, simple break and retest. I just want to take out this thing so I can see what I mean. This market came up here, so this one is a very simple trade. Came up here, bounced, came up here, bounced. So what does it tells me? That this line must be there must be a strong level. The market came down here, it came up here again, you see, and rejected. Then it finally broke it, violated it, and retested the same level again. I looked and said, okay, this is a good signal. Then I waited for wicks to push to the upside clearly. Then I took a trade here on the 4 hours time frame this time, and you know what, it exploded to the upside and reacted here to this level. So you see that the market has a way of respecting certain key levels. This region here is a strong level. It just needed time to break through it and retest it and bring out a candlestick in a direction, and it exploded to the upside. That is how this trade was taken and won. Okay, so that's how the trade was taken and won. You can see the behavior, push to the upside. So that is what we have. Now going forward to the coming week, I saw something very interesting I'd like to share with you guys. USD CHF give, I saw it on the 4 hours and I liked it. And how do I mean? Now this market pushed up, came down to this level, went up again, reacted here and pulled back, came down here, reacted here and came up this time. It didn't get up here, it came here. This is a free level, this is a free level. It came down here. Now I'm expecting to push to the upside. Yes, I'm expecting, but this is going to be a very long trade, but it's going to give you good profits. But based on experience, the market could come down here, retest and push to the downside. Yes, it can do that. But let us see what's going to happen. If I see candlestick in the upside here, clear full 4 hours candlestick pushing to the upside here, I'll take a buy. So that's what I'm looking at for in the coming week. So overall, we have been able to just give a rundown of the following pairs: GBP USD, GBP AUD, NAS 100, DXY, and I go on the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see what's going to happen. We see, yes, so pretty much the US dollar is still losing strength. It's not moving upward. See, it's still getting weak. So that's going to be that might have a significant impact on the market next week. I still expect the market to be weak. It's showing signs of weakness until the US dollars begin to break through all this level, then I begin to, if once it doesn't come up to this level, then it's still going to be a sell, really. The US dollar is going to be gaining, it's going to be weak, getting weak, and it means that NAS is going to be pushing to the upside. I expect this to push, break and retest this next week, because NAS always works in the inversely proportional to the US dollar. So when the US dollar is getting weak, NAS will be getting strong. You can see how it's going. You can see that this NAS has been pushing to the upside, and while the US dollars has been pushing to the downside. You can see. So that is how it is. So this is FX Mesh smashing it. If you like what I'm about, please like, subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Peace out.